Some Kickstarter campaigns offer you stuff for money. Other Kickstarter campaigns offer you a lot of stuff for money. And then there's Blood and Doom. Hi there fellow roleplayers and game monsters, my name is Mr. Tarask and this is still your go-to YouTube channel for everything tabletop RPG, and today I want to talk about Blood and Doom, a dark fantasy tabletop RPG rife with ancient mysteries, sinister cults and terrifying monsters. Now different campaigns, Kickstarter, crowdfunding campaigns, catch my interest for different reasons, and when I got the email from the creators talking about this Kickstarter, I was immediately interested due to a few reasons. The first reason was the title, Blood and freaking Doom. Looks so good, sounds good as an RPG because it's kind of its own RPG. It's not really like a 5th edition thing or whatever. It is more its own thing, and just calling it Blood and Doom just really flows like Dungeons and Dragons, right? So Blood and Doom. So that caught my interest immediately. The way it is presented, like the artwork, giving me some Conan the Barbarian meets Dune vibes for some weird reason, which might sound really weird, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Also like old school dungeon crawl, really dangerous RPG, like low hit points, all of that stuff. Well, there are no hit points in this game, but all of that like boots on the ground kind of stuff that I love about tabletop RPGs seems to be in here. And the next reason, the main reason that I think you should at least click the link in the description below and check it out for yourself is the value. You get a lot of stuff for your money, and people are also seeing that because there are 608 backers right now who have already backed almost 80,000 euros out of a 35,000 euro goal. So it is safe to say the game is coming probably. And it just really looks insane, and I am a fan not only of, like I said, old school dungeon crawls, low hit points kind of feeling, injuries, kind of that stuff, boots on the ground gameplay. I'm also really a big fan of video games like Doom. I'm not like much. I'm not a horror person. I don't like horror with like little girls who freak me to fuck out with like white dresses and that kind of horror, but I am a gore person. I like gore in games and all of that jazz, not in movies, but I like the Doom series, and just calling it Blood and Doom just works for me. So like I always do in my videos, is I will go over the Kickstarter campaign page really quickly to kind of show you what they're saying and everything, and then I will look at some of the PDFs they are presenting. Now normally I go really deep into a PDF, which I'm not going to do here because there's just too much. They're already putting out free adventures. They're already putting out like a free primer, which is like more than 300 pages, freaking thick book that has like the basic rules and all that jazz. I like it. And these RPGs, it's kind of like Shadow Dark RPG, right? These kind of like boots on the ground RPGs are doing really well at the moment, and I like that. So Blood and Doom, as you can see, there is 3 books, there is a map, there are miniatures, there's dice, there's a lot of D10 kind of dice, which I will get into in a bit. So really quickly, Blood and Doom is an immersive fantasy RPG unlike any you have seen before. Set in a captivating and wondrous world known as Aether. So, what's new? Blood and Doom uses a player-facing D10 dice pool systems and mechanics that reflect its gritty and adventurous setting. So there's 18 unique archetypes, which I will get into in a bit, such as the Vanguard, the Gladiator, the Stargazer, the Mystic, and the Night Stalker. By the way, there's one class that is not yet unlocked, and we need to hit the stretch goal in order to unlock it, which is the Priest, and I really want the Priest, because I want to play this game, at least run a 2-3 session adventure kind of thing with it, and I really want to play it. I don't want to run it, I want to play it. You will not find hit points in Blood and Doom. Instead, you suffer bruises, wounds, and injuries. And there is a madness system. You don't roll for initiative, which I find really weird. I haven't really looked into it, but I am intrigued. I'm really intrigued, and that is the point of like doing these videos. I'm not here to like kind of completely explain to you how everything works. I'm kind of here to kind of say why I am enthusiastic about something, and you might want to check it out for yourself if it also interests you. You don't roll initiative, so instead let the pace and flow of your martial and arcane prowess determine your actions and reactions. You can spend momentum to activate one of many weapon attributes. That really sounds really. Look at this artwork. There are these worms, which I don't know are the heads of a hydra or just separate worms getting destroyed by a hydra. So it is a hydra. So there should be a body behind it somewhere here. If it isn't, it's just a different kind of hydra, which is cool. So here they kind of summarize what's in the book, right? So player-facing rules that will keep players engaged, even when it's not their turn. I like that. That's for me a main issue in 5th edition with its action economy, with like action, bonus action, speed, and all of that stuff, and reaction. A lot of times you have like these power players who are doing this action economy thing, and they're just taking 10 minutes for a turn, figure of speech, of course, and they're just the other players just start texting on their phone or start doing other crap because they're just bored. And I really like, for example, the Cypher system had just as a one action game. Shadow Dark is a one action game. It's just boom next, boom next, boom next, boom next, and players are like, oh, it's almost my turn. What do I do? What do I do? So I like that first sense. I really love when they do that. Easy to run for Doomsayers. So Doomsayers are kind of like the the Game Masters. They call them Doomsayers, which is really cool word. I'm your Doomsayer for today. I say Doom. A D10 dice pool system utilizing momentum to express degrees of success. Really interested, really intrigued by that. And by the way, yes, if this comes out and everything, I will be reviewing this. Probably 90% sure I will be reviewing this, so I will talk about that stuff more in like a detailed review. Setbacks that represent horrible failure with grave consequences. Blood points fuel both martial powers and magic as a unified system. That's really important. Blood points are kind of like, sound like me to like some sort of mana system, some sort of energy system, but you do it for martial powers and for magic, so there's no there's no like, oh, this is magic and this is martial. No, it's all slapped together in a unified system. Love it, keeps the flow. Doom points can help you in a tough spot, but spending them comes at a heavy cost. Reminds me of that old Star Wars RPG where you could lend more towards the dark side, which gives you powers, but it's also really dangerous because it can give you a lot of setbacks like aging quicker and all of that stuff. No hit points, instead wounds, injuries, and madness and trauma. Yeah, just add trauma in there. Why not? There is no initiative order. Let the story at the table guide the action naturally. Don't really know what they're going for there. 18 unique weapon attributes. Weapons do more than just deal damage. I've never personally been a fan of having a weapon do more than just deal damage. If it's like on a weapon level. I like it when it's on a class level, when a fighter is trained in doing more with a sword than just dealing damage, like tripping somebody or subduing somebody or slapping somebody in the face with the flat side of a sword. I don't know. I don't like it on a weapon level, personally. It just adds something to the game that, in most cases, when people try it in 5th edition, it slows the game down, in my opinion. Intuitive to learn, yet offering extremely deep and customizable rules, and will appeal to both 5e players and fans of tabletop RPGs with more narrative mechanics. There's 9 classes with 18 unique archetypes. And there's more. There is more. There is a setting with 5 kind of realms. They go more into that here. And then there is I want to talk quickly about like what you get. So for $20, you get a PDF of the core book. You get a PDF of the Lost City of Toyoshi or something like that. I have to scroll up a little bit so you can see it. The character sheets, the poster maps, the Doomsayer screen PDF, scratch goals, of course, and the digital soundtrack. For $45, you get all of that, but you also get the Doomsayer's Codex. So there's 3 books. There's the core rulebook. There is the Doomsayer Codex, which is basically There's a lot of monsters in there and a lot of stuff in there for the Doomsayer, for the Game Master, in other words, to use. And there is the Lost City of, the Doomsayer Codex and the Guide to Aether, which is more like a campaign setting thing for the Doomsayer, for the Game Master. So you get the 3 core books in PDF and all of the other stuff, a lot of the other stuff for $45. And then for $55, you get the core rulebook in hardcover and almost all of the other stuff, like a lot of the other stuff in PDF, right? Which is a really good value because you get a hardcover, you get a PDF. They're not splitting up the hardcover and the PDF. That's something I have 2 opinions about that. The first opinion is I totally get it because making RPGs is really, really expensive and a lot of work. Believe me, right? But just somebody who buys the hardcover, I feel as a creator, you should also give them the PDF. That's just my opinion. So you got the hardcover, you got the PDF, but you also get all the other PDFs. And for $75, which is also really good value, you get all of the same stuff, but you also add the PDFs of the 2 other books. But then there is one level, and I know, 135 euros is a lot of money. I know, it's a lot of money. Let's say it's $150 or something like that for a US. It is a lot of money, but you get a deluxe 3-book slipcase. So you get these 3 books, and they're thick. They're big books. They're filled with art. They look incredible. Like from what I'm seeing, you get 3-book slipcase, hardcover. You get the 3 books in PDF. Again, not splitting it up. You get the adventure in PDF, the character sheets, poster map, in print, by the way. You get a poster map with it in print. You get the Doomsayer screen in PDF and all stretch goals. So you can even go further than that. You can have like a conditions and art afflictions card set. You can have the Doomsayer screen hardcover. So that's basically a Game Master screen and hardcover. All of that stuff for even more. But for me, the main value of this is right here or right here. So 75 euros or 135, which is a big jump, but that's where the value of this Kickstarter for me is, because you have the core rulebook, you have all of this stuff, you have character sheets, the classes, by the way, there is a shaman, there is a guardian. Look at this artwork. It looks really unique for me for a tabletop RPG. You have a sorcerer, assassin, the druid, who looks really cool, to my opinion, because most of the time when I picture a druid, I'm seeing like this dude in the forest being all like, I'm a dude in the forest and I got bunny rabbits. This guy is like literally a desert guy, which is really cool. There is a hunter here. There is a slayer, a minstrel, which is some kind of bard with a sword. There is the barbarian. I don't want her to kick my ass. I just don't want to meet her. And then there's a priest, which is not yet unlocked. It's a 10th class stretch goal, and I want to unlock this. Because we need that. Because judging from the artwork, we're going to get our asses kicked. So judging from the artwork, I want a priest to heal me, basically. That's kind of like the main idea. There's much more. There is a soundtrack. There's a lot of stuff like about the stat blocks. There is a guide to Aether with history, people's cultures. Then there is 80 unique monsters, full color illustrations. Here are like the worlds they're introducing, different worlds you can go and have adventures in. This thing is looking to become so huge that and sometimes the passion of a creator really shows. For example, what they're doing right now, they're giving you a lot of stuff to download from the Kickstarter page. If you click the link in the description below, you can find it somewhere near the button. And they're already releasing 2 free adventures for everybody. They're releasing them. The Faces of Evil is the first one, which they already released, and the second one is coming, if I'm not mistaken, the 21st or the 22nd of April, just for everybody to download, right? So you can download that and you can get into the game yourself, and I just think that is insane. This thing is 113 pages long. This is a full-length big adventure. It has all of the stuff it is crazy. It is crazy to offer this for free. Literally crazy. Look at the artwork, look at the layout, look at everything. My computer just even like needs to take some time in order to load everything, because that's how big this PDF is and how they have this background going on and all of that stuff. It is insane. If you want to get like a vibe of what they're going for before you back it, this is for me. Congratulations to the creators for doing something like this. It is absolutely crazy. Then there is also stuff like the character sheets. You can download character sheets, but you can also download filled-in character sheets, which already have like pre-generated characters. There's a bunch of them. For example, this is a druid, but I don't really know the system well enough yet to really know about what we're doing here. But you can have like adventuring skills, herbalism and healing, nature and spiritualism. There's combat skills, so they split them up, which is really cool. So as a game master, a doomsayer, you can say like, hey, monsters and myths, that is in your adventuring skill, so it's to the right, so it's easier to find that stuff. There is just a really cool looking character sheet that you can get. And then last but not least, there is the core rulebook primer, which is 304 pages of PDF that you can get for freaking free from the Kickstarter page with Conan the Barbarian on the front. No, just kidding. With like amazing artwork on the front, like on that stuff going on right there, bloodied, bruised kind of stuff. Which has rules, which has this kind of artwork. I don't know where they got the money to pay for all of this, but upfront or whatever, I don't know. Not my business, but really, like, look at this. There's just too much for me to review at this point. To like really talk about in this video, because the video will take hours and hours. For me, it's just a matter of finding cool Kickstarters. Most of the time it comes through an email and looking at it, and if I'm like, yeah, my viewers might be interested in this, I show it to my viewers right here on the YouTubes, which is what I think. This is one of those that you should check out. Now, in all honesty, if you have zero money, but you want to play a new game, there is enough free stuff to download from the Kickstarter page to actually start playing the game. It has monsters, it has the rules, it has an adventure, a full-length, really big adventure for free. Another adventure is coming in a few days. You can probably play this game for years without even backing it. That said, backing it, the value is really insane. Like, the books look really cool, especially if you want to have the physical books look really cool. There is the Dungeon Master screen, Doomsayer screen, there is the map, there is all of that stuff you can back it for, and you can just support it. So if you are interested in this, if you're interested in this boots on the ground gameplay that's really dangerous with like injuries and all of that stuff and madness, and also kind of interested in this new system they're using, make sure to check the Kickstarter link in the description below. And if you're not interested, just move on. Until next video, bye bye.